doon nandyan sa ilalim ng kama mo.
Oo.
Oo. Yun. Nung nasa yun, hindi ko nakita. Ano ba? Bukas mo mata. Subukan natin. Bukas ng ilaw. Siya. Isip yun ah.
Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hiraya Philippines' first webinar session entitled Utilizing Offline and Online Tools for Open Education. This webinar session is open to all interested participants. I am Zarina Tan, your moderator for today's webinar. And we are gladly welcoming our participants from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, including those who are outside the Philippines. It is indeed overwhelming that we can reach people around the world, a proof that this pandemic has never become a barrier for us to be connected as we share a common goal, quality and inclusivity in education. And please stay home po and please follow the guidelines from our government. And by the way, we are now live on Google Meet and Hiraya Philippines Facebook page. And before we start the webinar proper, we hope that all of us are safe from our homes. Let us know how you feel or tell us your expectations in today's event by keying in the comment section on our Facebook Live and chat box on Google Meet. So feel free po to send your comments, your thoughts about our webinar today. So you can send all your comments in our comment section po on our FB Live, and you can even send your messages or comments sa ating pong chat box on Google Meet. So from Constantino Ricardo Jr., good afternoon daw po. He's watching from La Union. So from Manuel Fernandez, good PM. And from Anne, good afternoon, watching from Tawi-Tawi. Hello po. And from Melissa Delcano, good afternoon and keep safe everyone from Capiz. Good afternoon din po. And we have another one from Miss Janet Bebora Chua. She's watching from Talisay City National High School, Talisay City, Cebu. And also, we have another one from Peter Joseph Mapua. He's watching from Cavite. Good afternoon po. And from Vilma Abris, good afternoon. She's watching from Vice General MacArthur E. Samar. Good afternoon po. And from Romel Katiyag, excited and ready to learn more. Thank you po. And once again, good afternoon to everyone. And for all our viewers and participants, you may use our official hashtags. Hashtag Hiraya Philippines, hashtag Proud Hirayano, and hashtag Proud Hirayana. And thank you po sa lahat nag-send ng comments and messages both sa FB Live natin and sa ating Google Meet. So thank you for all the comments again and thoughts you shared. We hope that you will still participate until the very end of the webinar. And as of this moment, we already have more than 2,000 participants. So hello po sa ating more than 2,000 participants. And this number constitutes 85% teachers, 5% students, and 10,000 or 10% rather other stakeholders and interested learners from different fields. So far po, we have more than 60 participants sa ating Google Meet. And to those who are watching but are not able to register po for today's event, now is your chance to formally join us as we are still accepting registrants in a limited time. The link for the registration is pinned in the comment section of our Facebook Live, and it is also posted on our Facebook group. And this is the link, tinyurl.com/Hiraya PH Webinar 1. So you can copy po that link or type that link so that you will be able to register and participate in our webinar for today. However, This will automatically close at exactly 3 p.m. today. So please do not miss the chance. Register now. Again po, for our viewers and participants, particularly on our Facebook Live, if you want to participate on the Google Meet, feel free to join us. The link is pinned in the comment box. And by the way, are you aware of the meaning behind the word Hiraya? So please key in your answers or ideas in the comment section. Again po, if you have any idea or you have comments or information about what Hiraya means, feel free to send your ideas or answers sa aming pong comment box sa Facebook live namin, and even you can also send your answers and ideas sa comment section po ng Google Meet. Okay, so from our Google Meet participants, according to Baby Jane, Dignos, Hiraya means hope. According naman po kay Roy B. Mangubat, Hiraya means reach your dreams. Wow. And according to Alvin Trinidad, it means imagination or illusion. Okay. So thank you po in sharing your thoughts or ideas about what Hiraya really means. Actually po, when we say Hiraya, it is an ancient Filipino word with a figurative meaning, vision, or dreams, like one of our participants shared earlier. So again po, Hiraya is an ancient Filipino word with a figurative meaning, vision, or dreams. Hence, our name Hiraya Philippines figuratively means Dream Philippines, a name with a preserved and enriched Filipino identity, and a vision to build the world we wanted. Together, let us dream and hope for the best Philippines. Hiraya Pilipinas. Hiraya Philippines works under Project Talino, or Teaching and Learning Innovations and Opportunities, a project that is anchored in the fourth Sustainable Development Goal, quality education, with the theme Empowering Learners, Leaders, and Educators in the New Normal. And before we start the webinar, we have few reminders to all our viewers and participants. To be considered as an official participant, all participants must first po be registered, second, liked and followed our Facebook page, and shared our Facebook Live. And for our Google Meet participants, please mute your microphones during the webinar. Turn off your cameras as well. And please refrain from clicking the Present Now button. Again po, for our Google Meet participants, make it sure that you will mute your microphones during the webinar, turn off your cameras, and please refrain from clicking the Present Now button. And for our Facebook Live participants, take screenshots of the session or photos of you while watching. Post this in the comment section with your location as proof for your attendance. We have moderators from the Facebook page to monitor your activities. So again po, for those viewers and participants po natin sa Facebook Live, please take a screenshot po ng session. Or you can also take a picture while you are watching the webinar. And then post or send your photos or screenshots sa comment section po natin with your location as proof of attendance. And please be guided that questions will only be entertained in the Q&A session. Also, the evaluation link will be posted at the end of the webinar. The link opens until 10 a.m. the following day. And for the certificates naman po, certificates will only be given to those who registered, attended, participated, and evaluated the webinar. Any misbehavior or misconduct will invalidate your chance to be a recipient of the certificate and also remove your chance to participate in our future activities. So again po, in order for you to get your e-certificates, make it sure that you registered, attended, participated, and evaluated the webinar. So later po, after the session or the webinar, we're going to post the link. Okay? And let's now proceed to the most awaited part of this webinar. So today, we are pleased to welcome our guest speaker. He finished BS Information from St. Paul University, Dumaguete in year 2012. He is awarded as one of the 10 outstanding students of Central Visayas and one of the 30 outstanding students of the Philippines in the Malacanang of the same year. He represented the country as a delegate in various international conferences in Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, and in India. He worked as a technical support engineer in the IT operations department of a technology company in Dumaguete City for more than 4 years and was a part-time university instructor teaching IT subjects for more than 5 years. He is currently on thesis for Master of Development Communication, Master of Information Systems at the University of the Philippines, Open University, and is currently the Project Development Officer at the Department of Information and Communications Technology, Visayas Cluster 2, under the ICT Industry Development Bureau. He is an intelligent and entertaining YouTuber who discusses tech tutorials, helping more people solve and create solutions and suggest innovations in dealing with technology. With that, let us all welcome our speaker for today, our pambansang IT guy, Mr. Joshua Elizar P. Domen. Good afternoon po, sir.
Hello,
Good
Zarina.
afternoon po.
Can you hear me?
Yes po.
All right. Sige, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you
the
po.
introduction. And I am excited as you are and
Yes,
as the
sir.
participants and Hiraya for this. This is actually my fifth webinar, live webinar discussing tech stuff. But this is my first time outside of the ICT to conduct this. So I am very much excited and I hope we for the participants and I and for the rest of us will make this webinar as fruitful as it should be.
Yes,
All
sir.
right,
Thank you so
so
much po.
okay, so allow me to present my slides. All right. Yan. Nakikita na ba ang slides ko? Kita nyo na, no? If you cannot see, you can hover sa ating participants list, no, na nasa right-hand side ng inyong interface, Google Meet, and makikita nyo yung may pangalan ko. Okay, sige, so let's start. Utilizing offline and online tools for open education. Now, this is the outline of my discussion for this afternoon. So first, I'll give you key concepts and terms about distance learning, about online classes, about open education, and then later on, I will give to you different or various learning management system platforms. Most especially, know that we are under the new normal, and I believe that um, the physical classroom settings are on hold for now. So we will utilize online classes and or blended kind of learning. So I hope that what I'll be sharing about these LMS platforms will be useful, especially if we have teachers here. I think majority of our participants for today are teachers or perhaps administrators of schools or perhaps principals. I'm not sure if for those who are working under DepEd, no, for public schools, I'm not sure if DepEd has already provided you of an online platform or of an LMS system platform for you to use, like for nationwide use. But if in case that there's none yet, then maybe some of you can take note of our various platforms that can be used. Let me know for if you have DepEd teachers here. Please let me know in our chat box or in our chat panel if you already have a specific platform to use, because I also am not sure or I'm not yet aware if you already have one. Then I will also discuss about the various video conferencing platforms, most especially that there is no more physical interaction. So what we'll be using for this kind of learning under the new normal are video conferencing platforms. So I will discuss later on what are the most commonly used, so that perhaps when you do your classes already, then you have some options to choose from. And then I will also give you some interactive learning applications, no? Because I believe now we are our hands are tied from giving activities. So I am also opening up later various interactive learning applications. So merong mga games online, parang not really online games na yung mga like Mobile Legends, but rather an interactive games para there is still an interaction, a live interaction between students and teachers, regardless of the physical barriers that you have when you do online classes. Okay? Okay, so let us start. So first, we of course all know the traditional classrooms learning, wherein we are confined with within the four walls of a classroom. Correct? That is the kind of learning, and that is the kind of education that we know of. But unfortunately, this global pandemic came in, and so we have to utilize the digital classroom learning. So whether we like it or we like it, we have to adapt to the digital classroom learning. Although this kind of learning has actually been it's been existing for years now, and even I myself, I am a student. I am a master student of the UP Open University, and we do our classes online. Okay, so actually UP Open University has been around for more than 20 years already. Um, we could not say that this kind of digital classroom learning is new to our country or is new to the Philippines, but it has actually been present for how many years now. There are also other schools and universities aside from UP that also offers open education or online learning. I think PUP also provides such kind, and also other private universities, they also have this kind of learning. So I will introduce to you, or I will tell you some key concepts about this kind of learning, because there are actually some kind of confusions or misconceptions about terms, important terms, and important concepts about digital classroom learning. So first, there under the digital classroom learning, we have this what we call as distance learning. Okay, so distance learning is learning without having to be physically present between the teacher and the learner or the student. And this kind of learning provides no barrier in terms of the location. So may the teacher be or the moderator be in a specific place, may he or she be in his or her home, and his or her learners are separated geographically, may they be in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, or overseas or abroad. In UPOU, where I study, I actually have classmates who are overseas, who are actually OFWs. So they are my classmates, and we haven't met physically, not unless like we have our final exams and we have to go to our nearest UP Learning Center. In my case, I am actually residing here in Cebu City, so I go to the nearest UP Learning Center, which is in here in Cebu City, to take my final exam. But mostly 90% or 95% of the time, we are doing distance learning. So regardless of our physical location, we are learning and we are being educated. So that's the concept of distance learning. Even right now, what we do right now, although this is not the formal kind of learning that we are that we know of, but this is exactly the kind of learning that distance learning actually offers. So ako, I am here in Cebu City. I am in the comforts of my home, and you are in your, maybe perhaps in your homes, in your workplaces. So that's distance learning. Now, the next kind of learning under the digital classroom setup is the open learning. So I have, as what I've mentioned, I am enrolled to UPOU. So UPOU, or University of the Philippines Open University, is actually it offers open education for the fact that regardless of your age, regardless of your marital status, regardless of your location, and everything else, there is an opportunity for you to learn. Okay, so what separates it as an open learning institution is, of course, you must meet some academic requirements. Like for me, I'm already in my master's, so the requirements to learn masters is, of course, you must have studied you must have a bachelor's degree that you earned, or a diploma that you earned. And UPOU actually also offers not just masters, but also college degrees. So for you to be able to enroll to these college courses or programs, then you must, of course, you must have passed basic education. So in a way, this is open education. So beyond borders, beyond it is the school, or this kind of education is open for everyone. Okay, regardless of your status in life, may you come from all walks of life, this kind of education is open for you. Okay, so and finally, another concept that is important under the digital classroom setup is e-learning. So when we talk about e-learning, this is making use of various technologies and making use of various gadgets to learn and to earn your degree. You might use smartphones, tablets, and PCs, personal desktop computers or laptops to learn in this kind of classroom setup, digital classroom setup. So these are actually three important three important concepts about the digital classroom setup. And the reason I pointed this out is because there are others who have some misconceptions about this, and they actually use the wrong terms for this term. So at least for now, I have given you some of the um, keywords or concepts about the digital classroom setup. Okay. Now, in the digital classroom setup, there are actually two modes. There is the online, wherein both the teacher and the student or the learner logs into to a computer or to a device or a gadget, and they interact live. The teacher discusses and the student listens. So that is an online kind of learning. And we also have what we call as the offline and blended. And simply, the difference between online and offline is that the use of internet, or the presence of internet connectivity. So when you go online, it means that you are connected to the internet, while when you go offline, um, there is no internet connection. As simple as that. And under the offline and blended are two various modes as well. And this include the analog and the digital. So when you learn offline under the digital classroom mode, um, the analog kind of learning, we have books, handouts, radio, and TV. Okay? Those are some of the methods used in analog learning. While in digital, you use desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. Okay? Those are the two differences. Now, we also have the kinds of transmissions under the digital classroom. First, we have sending radio signals with the use of various infrastructure. So, say for example, um, I think in the history of education in the Philippines, before it was already used, like televisions and radios were already used for this kind of learning. And in some other countries as well, up to now, they are using this kind of um, transmission, wherein there is a certain point of center, and they send radio signals to devices just like radios and TV antennas to provide such kind of education. Although the problem with that is that there's only one-way interaction, so only the moderator or only the teacher gives instructions, but the students or the learners could not give back or interact back, because there's only one way of interaction between the two. Next is we have the internet, wherein this is the best kind of transmission, most especially because there is a live interaction between the two, the learner and the listener or the student. So when the teacher gives a lesson, perhaps, or he gives instructions, the student can actually um, interact back, provided that there is connectivity or both are connected to the internet. Okay? And finally, we have this what we call as the sneaker net. Sige nga, are there those who know what a sneaker net is? Is it something new in your ears? Does it ring a bell? Sige nga, maybe you can comment in our chat panel what does sneaker net mean? from our icon alone, no? 'Di ba? Sa radio, we have this satellite na icon. Sa internet, this is the World Wide Web icon. And how about the sneakernet? Bakit kaya sapatos to at may mga accessories or peripherals like SD cards, micro SD cards, and USBs? Sige nga, mostly I can read that new pa ako tungkol dyan. First time to hear it, new to me. Not familiar with it, really? New to me, new to hear? Not familiar. Okay, sige. Sirit na? Oh, I think we have a good answer from Dave Bell Joy. Transfer of electronic information. That is correct, pero kulang. Transfer by not radio signals, not by the internet connection, but rather by someone, by a volunteer or by someone tapped to do so, wherein he or she physically goes to these houses of the learners, and he is the sneakernet because he gets some data if there are updates or if there are modules that have been updated. He or she get it from the central office and physically distributes such kind of information to these learners. Okay, that is sneakernet. And I'm not sure if that is the same kind. I think DepEd will also implement the same kind of transmission for the blended learning. Di ba parang meron ang mga, I think there are teachers ba ata or there are some others who will be going physically to the learners who are deprived or who are financially challenged to have an internet connection or even gadgets or devices. So parang someone will go from place to place ata to deliver papers or modules for the students to learn. So this may be a new term for you, but this has been actually existing most especially in some other countries that have geographical issues in far-flung areas. And yeah, that's it. Bago ba? Ayan, nagbibigay ng iba ng explanation coming from the internet siguro, ang mga meaning nyo, no? But as simple as that, that is a sneakernet. And later on, I will give you some platforms that actually uses sneakernet, because sneakernet is actually the last resort or is the last alternative as transmission in this kind of learning. Okay? And later on, as I go with our topic, I will provide you some examples. Okay? Okay, going back to my slides. So there are, of course, advantages and disadvantages of this kind of learning, of this I actually call it now the new normal learning, because this is the kind of learning that we will transcend to, or we will prepare ourselves to. So I know that there are advantages and disadvantages. So let me first start off by providing the advantages. Of course, safety in the comfort of your homes. There is lesser risk for both the teacher and the student. Especially ngayon, no, we have this COVID-19 pandemic, and for us to have lesser cases, it is a must for us to stay at our homes. So that's one advantage for such. There is no need for us to get out of our homes. There's no need for us to wear our shoes and slippers to go out and learn, because we can just learn by staying at home. Next is that there is freedom and control, diba? When we are in the traditional classroom setting, we are confined with the rules and regulations of the school. You must wear your school uniform. You could not go out of the school premises if it's not yet 12 noon or 5 p.m. Kaya may mga nagka-cutting classes. Or you must wear your school ID. Mga ganon. Those are some of the advantages for the students, di ba? Na ang iba nga, their freedom and control is that hindi na sila maliligo. Di ba? They don't want to take a bath early in the morning. So that's one of the freedom and control that you do. Wala namang makakaalam na hindi ka naligo, di ba? Okay. Next is there's no hassle in going to school. Diba? Right now, public transportation is limited here in Cebu City. The only public commutes that are available are taxis. Wala pa mga jeepneys. Walang pang Grab. Hindi pa bumabalik. So, there's no hassle for us going to school. Kami nga, hatid sundo kami sa office ngayon because it is such a hassle in going to our workplaces for now. So, advantage and a great advantage of this is that there's no need for us to go to school. That's it. Next is that students learn the value of priority and responsibility. Diba? If we go to the traditional classroom setting, there are those na mga students na nagpapa-spoon feed. Na ganito, ganyan. Here are the instructions. You have to may mag-guide sa inyo, but here in this kind of classroom setup na digital, students gain responsibility and priority. Of course, unahin nyo bang matulog? Diba, merong mga natutulog sa klase, but dito sa online learning mas nababantayan ang mga students, and students also should be more cautious and should prioritize things over others. So yun. And also another advantage is the power of technology is utilized. So actually we are in terms of technology, since I am actually working for the ICT, and in terms of technology, actually, a couple of years back, we are behind from other neighboring countries. Now we are more advanced actually. Just like this is a given fact, na DICT as a department, a separate department, a government agency intended for the ICT landscape of our country, has been around just a couple of years back. 4 years ago pa lang siya na institutionalized in 2016. But in some other countries, just like in Sri Lanka, and we know of na we have more better economy from them and from other countries. They already have their own ministry or department intended for the ICT landscape, or they have their own DICT already a couple of years back, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. They already have such, and other countries now have more advanced infrastructure. They have more satellite towers, cell sites to have the ICT landscape flourish in their areas. But now, since we have transitioned to this kind of learning, to this kind of setup, there is more better chances for our technology to be more advanced, diba? You know the law of demand of supply. Since there is a greater demand for us to use technology, then it is also tantamount to saying that our technology, our infrastructure will also be upgraded. Okay? So that's it. Those are some advantages. Do you also have some other advantages that you know of about this digital classroom learning? Please comment them in sa ating chat panel. Wala na? Sige. So if merong advantages, syempre, meron din naman disadvantages ang ating mga cons in this kind of digital learning. Diba? And among them ay ito. Technical problems are inevitable. Hindi impossible na wala tayong mga technical glitches na nangyayari. Na-disconnect ka, na wala ang internet connection, ayaw mag-restart ng ayaw mag-turn on ng computer mo, sira ang charger, and everything else. There will be technical problems. That is one disadvantage. So, 'di ba, if we are in the traditional classroom setup, no, there are teachers now, they prefer the traditional methods of audiovisuals like cartulinas, Manila papers. They love that because when you use projectors and computers, they delay ang reporting ng students because kailangan pa mag-set up, i-turn on ang computer, may problema, walang backup file. So they prefer the traditional methods of edutech kasi for the reason na madali lang, lagyan mo na lang ng scotch tape ang cartolina or Manila paper, then i-post na ganun. And that is also true sa ating digital classroom na setup. Okay? And yeah, merong nag-comment ata na internet pa lang problema na. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Next disadvantage is not all students can go online, and that is so true. And that is also the reason why there are sneaker nets, and we pity some teachers, no, na they will brave the roads even if there is pandemic just to go to their students who could not afford gadgets, they could not afford internet. So yun lang. Not all students can go online. And actually it differs, no, from every location. For metropolitan areas, of course, there is greater tendency that students can go online. But what about those who are living in the far-flung areas? What about those who are living across the mountains, across the streams and rivers? How do they learn when, in fact, they could not go online? So I know that is a challenge that you teachers, actually would be experiencing or are currently experiencing. Diba? I think I have heard in the news that there were trainings conducted by DepEd, and those kinds of trainings were done online. And there were these teachers who have to go down from the mountains kasi walang cell signal up there. So they have to go to the roads to learn. So those kind of disadvantages are the very same disadvantages that students may face as we go with this kind of digital classroom setup. Correct? If you agree, please comment in. Okay? So another disadvantage is there are plenty of distractions. One distraction the most is the bed. The student or even the teacher is just sitting beside his or her bed, and the bed, the smell of your room is very aromatic. Parang gusto mo lang matulog. And that's one distraction. Also, another distraction, if you are a teacher and you are a mother, you have to prepare the food, you have to cook, you have to clean the house while your children who are also not going to school physically are there. You have to prepare, but you also have to prioritize your classes. So there are so many distractions. Even your pets, since you are learning from home and you have your pets here for the pet lovers, there are also distractions. And even here in our home right now, there are our neighbors have their chickens and roosters. Mga toktilaok nila. I'm not sure if narinig nyo ngayon, but I am in a farther room from the chickens and roosters. So there are so many distractions. Another disadvantage is the likelihood of not conforming to deadlines by students, 'di ba? Because students will really reason out, ma'am, sir, hindi ako makapasa ng assignment because we don't have internet connection. Even if there is, naputol po kasi itong ISP natin, itong provider natin, um, nagkaroon ng parang system maintenance, but you could not confirm and you could not tell whether he or she is saying right or he is lying because you could not check it instantly. Diba? So there is a likelihood for these students to not follow the deadlines being set, even if you have given it 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but palaging merong reasons to say, madaming mga alibay. So prepare teachers for this kind of disadvantage. Okay? Also, di ba, the very last one is that it doesn't feel natural. Correct? As in, even I myself right now, I am talking to you. This is not the kind of seminars or trainings that I do, but I have learned na lang to appreciate it because our hands are tied and wala eh. We have to adapt or else we would not move forward. So it doesn't feel natural. I am speaking to you one way. I don't have physical interaction, di ba? Iba talaga yung may audience impact, di ba? When you are in the stage, but right now, we have to face this. It doesn't feel natural. It feels parang iba siya. Parang kausap ko lang sarili ko or mas mabuti pa nga na you are facing the mirror, no? At least may mga movements. But right now, it doesn't really feel natural. And I know for sure that you will also feel the same. And that is really a challenge. So these advantages are also challenges. Okay? And although we have those advantages and disadvantages, we also have the borderline. So it is actually subjective. Online classes may be expensive or inexpensive depending on your way of life, di ba? Like, ikaw, if you as a teacher, you spend too much for going to a certain school, especially if you're in the NCR, perhaps you teach in Metro Manila, but you live in farther places, cumulatively, it would be expensive for you, di ba? To go or to spend expenses for the transportation. But if you stay at home and you teach at home, there is no need for you to spend for transportation or to go to this to your school. So that is actually subjective. Pero naman, there are also some debates, and it is actually debatable na when you teach at home, there are other expenses like paying for additional fee for your electricity. Kasi di ba, you are there 24/7, so you have to pay for your electricity, for your water bills, for your internet connection that you will be using. So it is actually subjective, and that is debatable whether online classes are expensive or not. Diba? So because there are some other factors that you have to take in. So what are your thoughts? Can you share sa ating chat panel whether you think online classes are expensive or inexpensive for you as a teacher or for you as a student? What do you think? Diba? In a traditional classroom, you have to spend for your clothes perhaps for your clothing, diba? Practically, you have to perhaps for school uniforms, or if you don't wear school uniforms, you have to pay for your clothing to learn, diba? So the question of whether online classes are expensive or inexpensive will always depend on you, and I will leave it to you whether you consider it expensive or not. Okay? So, now, uh, hello? So, I would like to remind everyone na lang no, to mute your microphones na lang. For those especially who just came in, pa-mute na lang. That is one challenge of Google Meet. And actually later on, I will tell you some of the learning management system platforms. Ito na, we are actually here. We're here right now. So when we talk about digital classroom, here comes the learning management system, or the LMS. And LMS is a software application for the administration, documentation, tracking, reporting, automation, and delivery of educational courses, training programs, or learning and development programs. And simply put, LMS is actually the bridge between the student and the teacher. Okay? Parang sila ang nag-unify. Ang LMS platform, whatever platform that you will be using, you will be unified by this kind of system. Okay? Now, examples, we have those written or displayed in our screen. No? Those are our examples of learning management system. And later, after this slide, actually, I will give you the top 10 learning management system platforms that are being used right now and might be used by you if we have some school administrators here or who have not yet chosen the kind of learning approach, the kind of LMS learning management system that you will be using. Then I will open up the top 10, or not really top 10, but the 10 most commonly used LMS platforms. And so let's go to the slides. So here are the commonly used LMS platforms for a digital classroom. So just a heads up or disclaimer lang, this is not a workshop. I will not be instructing you or showing you how to hover these platforms. Although in my past webinars, actually, this is actually my 5th webinar as a resource person. And in the past 4 webinars that I did, I really provided hands-on parang mini workshop for my learners to learn. But for this time, I will leave up to you how you actually use it, how you maneuver these platforms. So I will just give to you an overview of these platforms now, because we only have an hour left. So at least I can open you up about these platforms, and I will leave it up to you again on how they can be used, how can they be purchased, how can you avail for them. So here we go. First is Moodle. So in my school right now for my masters, since time immemorial, we used Moodle. So Moodle is a popular, actually the most popular learning management system developed to provide tutors, administrators, and customers with a single, strong, safe, and secure integrated platform for developing customized learning platforms for its customers. Now, this is Moodle is best known for being an open source platform supported by a global community of developers. Okay, so it is open source. There is actually any tech person who knows this kind of stuff could actually make modifications and customizations about the Moodle. And that's one good thing, or actually that's the best thing about Moodle, because they can be customized as users or admins want them to be. So it offers multiple dynamic programs to learn anywhere and anytime, and it can be used for both the teaching profession as well as the learning. And it is flexible. Moodle is flexible. You can use it in the desktop version, and it can also be used through the mobile version. So kahit na si teacher is nasa cellphone lang or nasa tablet or nasa desktop ba siya, there is no issue with that because Moodle can be accessed by both mobile and desktop PCs. If you ask for the price, it actually ranges from $80 to $500 per year, but Moodle offers a free version. And one good thing about Moodle is that, diba, so this is the platform, no, where teachers post perhaps assignments or instructions, and nag-upload sila ng mga reading materials doon, like PDFs and other stuff. There is a downloadable version for all those materials uploaded ni teacher, and the students can download them. So even if they are not connected to the internet, they can still learn offline. Okay, there is a special button for the learners to choose para when worst comes to worst na mawalang internet, they can still learn. So that's the one good thing about Moodle. And pwede siya ma-sync actually. So say for example na merong quizzes, no? Actually, you can do quizzes sa Moodle, and say for example, walang internet si student but na-download niya yung quiz na portion, no? And there is a deadline for the quiz. Actually, the student can answer the quiz, masasave yung mga answers niya sa database, and when he gets connected na to the internet, then magsisync siya. Magsisynchronize na ang answers niya sa real time. So that's one good thing about Moodle. Okay? And next, nandyan pa ba kayo? Are you still alive? Ayan na. So there are actually approximately, there are 100,000 customers of Moodle right now. So it doesn't mean na baka sabihin nyo, ang konti naman ng 100,000 for all the millions and billions of people in the world, 100,000 lang gumagamit. What I mean with the customers is the schools, the administrators. So iba pa dyan ang mga students. So 100,000. So if you could imagine, there are 100,000 customers of Moodle, one of which is UPOU. So you can actually, you can attest na Moodle is a good learning management system platform. And that's why it's the most used Moodle. Okay, I mean LMS. That's Moodle. Next, we have, of course, the Google Classroom. And I'm not sure if this is the kind of LMS that DepEd, for our DepEd teachers who are here right now, that DepEd has asked you to use. Although I work for the government now, but I'm not sure about the updates of DepEd. So Google Classroom is a free web service developed by Google for schools that aims to simplify creating, distributing, and grading assignments. So the primary purpose of Google Classroom is to streamline the process of sharing files between teachers and students. And it is estimated between 40 to 100 million users use Google Classroom. And one really good thing about Google Classroom, especially for our school administrators and for DepEd, it's because it is free. There is a free service of Google Classroom for schools, nonprofits, and anyone with a personal Google account. But there's a paid G Suite Enterprise for Education tier that includes additional features such as advanced video conferencing features, advanced security, and premium support. So by default, actually, Google Classroom is free. Meron na lang merong additional payments if the features like video conferencing and other security measures are those that you want to avail. So dyan lang kayo magbayad. But by default, Google Classroom is free. And I believe ang swerte ng DepEd because DepEd is a partner of G Suites for Education. And one good perk about being a partner of G Suite Education is that account holders under yung domain ng deped.gov.ph, meron kang unlimited storage for your Google account. So, wow, ang ano niya, no? Ang sarap sa pakiramdam. Kami sa DICT, we are also hosted sa Google na platform, but we only have 30 gigabytes of storage. So, for the teachers, please do utilize using the storage of your accounts kasi sayang po. Sayang na sayang talaga if I were in DepEd, nako, I will really make use of of this kind of feature set by Google. Okay, so by the way, no, sa mga slides ko, there are websites. Let me go back. So, meron mga websites sa ilalim. If you are interested to make use of this kind of learning platform, then you can go to their sites. Na I specifically included at the bottom of each slide. So for Moodle, that's it. And for Google Classroom, ayan din, nasa baba. Okay? Okay, are you using Google Classroom? Can I see some answers sa chat panel? So meron na nag-answer. We are using Google Classrooms here. Okay, yes. So how are you? Are you ano ba? Nagsimula na ba ang mga classes nyo? And are you already using Google Classroom? So how is your experience with Google Classroom? Not yet. So, ayan, mga dry rant ba daw muna? So, good luck. I think DepEd has already chosen Google Classroom. Siyempre, di ba, the best things in life are free. So, yeah. Okay, so please utilize na lang po. I think ako personally, I also like Google Classroom. And in one of our trainings, because we also provide trainings in DICT, so in our online freelancing courses, we will actually be using Google Classroom. Okay. So the next platform is Edmodo. Ayan. I think some DepEd schools also utilize Edmodo. Meron ba? So Edmodo is Edmodo as a company is a team that is dedicated to improving the learning skills for students, teachers, parents, and admins everywhere. So it helps connect the learners with people and customers to reach their full potential. And it is also the largest learning network for K-12 students, teachers, and administrators. So it is capable of engaging customers throughout the learning program. So Edmodo is best known for its collaborative learning for individuals. Hence, students can interact more in an open environment. And the price for Edmodo ranges from $1 to $2,500 per year, but it also has free trial for their customers. Yeah. So, do we have schools here who are making use or utilizing Edmodo? How is your experience so far? If you actually want to, if you want to know the interface of these platforms, then you can actually search for them lang sa internet. Or we also have we had previous webinars in our office at DICT Visayas Cluster 2. You can search for our Facebook page and hover to our videos. Meron kaming actually mga webinars specifying these kinds of these platforms. Okay. Next is Quipper. Are you familiar with Quipper? Um, Quipper is also another free platform, but there are functionalities that may that you have to spend for, just like the video functions, and annually you actually pay more than 3,000 for you as schools or as an administrator. So Quipper has been present in Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Mexico. So actually, I have known of some private institutions who are making use of Quipper, and it varies, no? It varies. The Quipper actually originated from the UK and then to Japan until it finally reached the Philippines, and it depends. Um, Quipper depends for each country, no? There are different features, and here in the Philippines, there are three services offered, like the Quipper School Platform, the Quipper School Premium, wherein there are downloadable files that are ready for the students and learners to avail of, and there is also video conferencing, and there are also video platforms that you can upload sa Quipper. So that's it for Quipper. Okay, the next platform we have is Talent LMS. Yan, parang ano no, pang lumalayo na tayo sa mga familiar platforms that we know of. So we now have the Talent LMS. So for Talent LMS, this is also available both in a desktop and mobile version, and this is a very flexible LMS that is developed to create a compact, most instinctive, simple, and hassle-free learning experience. So it is an online e-platform and is available, which is available and provides great scalability and power to spare. The price ranges from $29 to $349 per month. But it also comes free. There is a free version, but the users are only 5 with only 10 courses na maximum. So that's it for LMS. And according to research, or according to some reviews and user experience, Talent LMS provides now an excellent response. So if there is some technical glitch, there is some problems with the learning platform, then their support team now are ready and available 24/7. If you have some questions in their customer service, then according to reviews, they really respond immediately. Okay. Next learning platform is Blackboard. And so Blackboard also has both desktop and mobile version. So whether you learn from your PC or you learn from your mobile devices, from your smartphones or from your tablets, you can do so. And it is famous for the K-12 and even college and graduate schools. It offers personalized, competent learning, and it helps to make teaching and studying live studying live with advanced, innovative studying technology, which helps the tutor to adapt according to the new standards and upgraded learning. So one good thing about Blackboard is the team behind Blackboard updates kung what is the current trend or what are the features and that learning must have. So that's one good thing about Blackboard. They are very innovative. Like palaging merong mga versions and upgrades. So it is best for testing and assessment, group discussions, and a dedicated profile for the learning of users. And if you ask for the price, a school DAO has to spend $2,500 US dollars per year. But it also offers a free trial for customers to get its functionality. Okay. Next platform is Schoology. So it also have a desktop and mobile version, and it is created for the collaboration between the instructor and the student. Okay, so it is best known for its good amount of quizzes and assessments that increase the overall idea of the users on a particular learning program. So there are various options when you do quizzes. So Schoology offers more rooms now for this kind. And for the pricing, it is a school must spend $10 per month, but it also has a free trial for 1 month for the students and the teachers. Yan. Okay? Sana ay gising pa kayo. Madami bang mga distractions dyan sa inyo ngayon? Just like the bed. Ako ngayon nasa sofa, parang masarap matulog after this. But since I want to share this kind of stuff to you, so I'll stay with you. And I hope you also stay with me until the end. Okay, next, after Schoology, I think hindi na mga familiar to sila, no? But who knows, your school might explore this because, diba, they say that the more the unfamiliar daw a certain brand is, the more they are cheaper daw. Diba? So, yun. Next is MindFlash. So MindFlash is a cloud-based e-learning platform that provides a simple, intuitive training solution for employees working from home, in the office, or field. So it makes it easier for business leaders to enable customers, contractors, and their employees' success. So aside from the classroom setting, so this platform, itong MindFlash, is also available pala for companies. Companies can make use of this if they have trainings for their employees. Even kayo, di ba? If you work in DepEd or in a certain school or institution, and you do conduct trainings, then you within or among yourselves, then you can make use of MindFlash. So MindFlash is best known for launching initial programs, global and blended training, distinct content needs, and a complete solution for large programs. And for the pricing, there are actually 3 plans, like standard, premium, and enterprise. And you can go to their site that is actually flashed below or under in the bottom part of your of the display right now. And per reviews, it starts at $3,500 per year. Okay. Next is we have Docebo. Have you heard of this? Or hindi na mga familiar, no? So it is a very popular learning management system worldwide, and it opens a door for all the automated, personalized, and unmatched experience of learning. So it provides support for onboarding efforts and enhances the customer's growth through excellent learning. Yan. So Docebo supports multiple environments without any integration issues, thereby saving a lot of time. So regardless of your infrastructure, your PC infrastructure, may they run 64-bit, Docebo still runs, and may you be using various operating systems, Docebo is actually very much flexible. Okay. So for their pricing, it is $10 per customer plus one-time registration fees. Meron din silang 14-day free trial for the customers. Okay. And I think this is my final, not my final slide, but the final learning management system platform that I'll be giving you an overview of. This is Canvas. Iba pa todo sa Canva, no, that you know of. especially if you want to design and lay out stuff. Canva po yon without an S. Singular siya. But this is Canvas with an S. So this is another LMS that that learners and educators can display their skills they want, and this is very simple and easy to use. Its features include open source, supporting customization, good support, high speed, secured, scalable, and low risk. As it is cloud based, it is best suited for education and helps to make learning simple and easy, and thereby increases the productivity of its users. Now, for the price, it is $22.50 per user per year, and it also has a free trial version for the customers. Okay? Again, iba po yung Canva ha. Actually, I will later on open you up about Canva. Iba po yung Canva, iba din tong Canvas. Okay. Now, let us move on, and at this point, I will open you up to the world of video telephony or video conferencing, and I know that you will utilize video conferencing applications now that we are in this new normal kind of learning. Nasa online classes na tayo. So, video telephony or video conferencing comprises technologies for the reception and transmission of audio-video signals by users at different locations for communication between people in real time. Okay, di ba? Kasi sa open education, it doesn't mean that you have to meet in real time, correct? As I have clarified it earlier. Kasi di ba, let's say a teacher gives an assignment in the LMS and in the open education, the students can actually go anytime. They can log in at any time, but we also have this real-time na learning, and of course you will utilize video telephony or video conferencing. So here are some examples at the bottom of your screen. These are some examples, and in the next few slides, I will give to you the best of the best video conferencing applications wherein they are actually known for. Of course, you know Zoom, you know the others, but each video application or each video tool has their let's say flagship na feature. And so in the next few slides, I will be telling them to you. So let us begin. Our best apps for video conferencing. So let's go. First is the best one for reliable and large video calls is Zoom. Okay. So once you install the Zoom app on either your computer or phone, ay parang may naka-on yata ng mic. So for those who just came in, please mute your mic po kasi I can still hear. Okay. Now, so once you install the Zoom app, so it is flexible, pwede siyang sa desktop and pwede sa mobile phones. It can host free one-to-one video calls with no time limit and group calls with up to 100 people as long as you don't talk for more than 40 minutes. So by default, actually, Zoom can be used for your meeting for as long as there are 100 people in it and you don't, your meeting or your conferencing does not take more than 40 minutes. That's free. But once you go beyond 40 minutes, then that means that you have it will be cut and you have to actually pay for the premium. So Yun po. So the next, I think you're, grabe ang ano no, grabe ang pag-boom ng Zoom ngayon. So I think you're very much familiar with this. So I think there's no need for me to explain this that much. But when you go for a video conferencing app for reliable large video calls, then Zoom is the best option to choose from. Okay. Next is, how about the best application for G Suite users? Of course, that is Google Meet. And it is free for as long as you have a Gmail account or you have a Google account, then you can make use of Google Meet. And as a matter of fact, we are using Google Meet right now. It is available for iOS, Android, and web. And one good thing about Google Meet is that there is an easy synchronization for all other G Suite apps. Say, for example, your Gmail account, your Google Sheets, your Google Docs, and everything else, mga add-ons under the G Suite, then Google Meet is best fit for you. Okay? And although there are also challenges for Google Meet. So historically, you know, Google Meet started first at Hangouts Meet until a couple of months back, naging Google Meet na siya. And one challenge of this is this one we are experiencing right now na hindi masyadong maganda, no? No offense to Google, but hindi masyadong maganda ang admin controls. So, say for example, you could not mute all participants. And medyo parang ano no, merong mga sapawan na nagsasalita ako, pwedeng may isang magsalita. Although you can, ayan, kagaya niyan. Merong ganun. So you can mute him, pero still by default the person can still speak. So mga ganun mga issues lang. Pero if hindi naman masyadong madami, no, like 50, if you have 50 students, less than 15 students, I think Google Meet is okay. But if you have a class of more than 50, I think there is a problem for that. Kasi yun nga. Okay? So another so for Google Meet, it actually depends, no? For every account, it depends on how you can use Google Meet. Kasi if you only have 100 participants and you will only talk for 60 minutes, then that's free. But if you opt for having G Suite Basic for business teams, that's $6 per month. So here, DICT is hosting this Google Meet right now, and we have an unlimited plan for this. Even if umabot tayo ng ilang oras, then there is no problem with that. But if by default, personal, you only have around 60 minutes for 100 participants. And also, unlike Zoom, Google Meet can only host 250 participants, compared sa Zoom na they can host in as much as 1,000 participants. And we experienced no, in one of my webinars sa DICT, although ngayon ang ginagamit na namin is Webex, in which later on I will also open it up to you. But I had this webinar now. We had 9,000 registrants, and there are around 6,000 who confirmed, and Google Meet is only limited to 250 people. So you could imagine ang web traffic, as in I could not hover my mouse anymore. So that's one issue lang. But for classes naman, for you as schools, I think hindi naman naabot ng more than 50 ba per students. per room. So I think it will not be an issue for you. Ang web traffic won't be an issue for you. Okay. Next is best for professional features is GoToMeeting. Why best for professional features? It is for the fact that there are various features offered in GoToMeeting that could not be found in other video conferencing tools. GoToMeeting is available in iOS, Android, Mac OS, Windows, and web. So its price is, it ranges from $14 per organizer per month to up to 150 participants. So madami siyang mga features, and just like multiple screen sharing, application to join calls using your cell phones, and other additional features. But that those very reasons na advanced ang features na are also the very reasons kung bakit meron siyang downside, because GoToMeeting is a little bit confusing, especially for beginners. Parang asa na ba to? This is not the kind of buttons that I usually know sa for this video conferencing platform. So that's it. And next is best for lightweight option is the Join Me. Okay. So this is actually Join Me and GoToMeeting belong to the same company. It is Log Me In actually may-ari ng Join Me and GoToMeeting. And if you want for lightweight option, then you can opt for this ang Join Me. And hindi masyadong ang interface na hindi masyadong nakakalito, and ano siya, parang for occasional calls, you can make use of GoToMeeting. So madali lang siya i-navigate. Yun. And next, we also have best for virtual whiteboarding is ang Cisco Webex. So ito po ang ginagamit namin ngayon sa DICT. Although it's not free, I think it costs thousands of pesos, more than the usual video application platforms that we know of. But it's, for me, it's really secure and safe. And when you talk about whiteboarding, this is parang an application for the participants and for those in the admin panel, wherein if they have some text to write, parang parang the common whiteboard that we know of sa traditional setting, or kung wala pang whiteboard but rather Blackboard, no? Blackboard na ang color ay hindi black but green. So parang ganun siya. If you want a kind of video conferencing that you can make use of sa whiteboarding niya, then Cisco Webex is the best option, especially if you have some graphs, if you have some doodles to create, then Cisco Webex is the best option. Okay? And yun lang. Those are the best video conferencing applications. So what are your thoughts? Do you have some other video conferencing tools that you know of that I haven't mentioned na maganda din? You can type them in sa ating chat panel so that our participants, even I myself, can be aware of, kasi I'm not familiar of other applications other than those I have enumerated. Although we also have other applications like Skype, diba? Meron tayong Skype before. Skype was the leading video conferencing app, pero parang I'm not sure if they have adapted already to this to the likes of Zoom. So yun po. Now finally, our final topic is correct. Merong Microsoft Teams, correct. Microsoft Teams is also another video conferencing app, and it is under the Office 365 na suite of applications ng Microsoft. And yeah, we also have actually a webinar for that sa page namin sa DICT FOOVC2 then. You can go there if you want to know more about Microsoft Teams. Actually, there is a separate webinar for this, no, na hinover talaga ang interfaces ng mga video platforms na to din. If you want to review, then you can go there. Okay? And finally, my last topic is some online learning tools para hindi naman boring ang ating classes, no? So that there still is an interactive discussion between us teachers and the students or our learners. So I will give you some platforms that I know of, I personally know of. Okay? The first one is, ayan, sinong hindi nakakaalam sa Google Forms? Diba? Okay, so Google Forms, if you have online quizzes, if you want to check the attendance, actually, if you have registration forms, if you're school admins and you want to do some registration wherein the enrollees need not go your school physically, then you can make use of Google Forms. Very easy and it comes handy. Ayan na, meron tayong mga messages sa chat. Ayan, yay, Google Forms. So actually, I did a separate webinar for this before, and ito yung sinasabi ko na merong 9,000 registrants. And medyo may there were challenges in the beginning, but in the end, we were able to the webinar for this. You can go to our page, or later on, I have actually uploaded this in my YouTube channel. You can review. Basta I would really, Google Forms is really good, especially for your quizzes, if you are teachers, no? And if you are a member of the G Suite for Education, yung mga nasa DepEd, no? And I think Google Forms is also available sa Google Classroom. And one good thing, if you are partnered as a G Suite for Education, is that Google Forms there, so G Suite Education has additional features like it has a lock functionality wherein kung meron tayong Google quiz, no, the students cannot open other browsers. They cannot open another tab to search for answers because nakalock yung specific Google Forms quiz na yon. So that is another added functionality if you're partnered with the G Suite for Education. Pwedeng malak para ma-eliminate natin ang cheating, no? Like open notes or mga ganon. So pwede yun. So, yeah. Okay, next is, basta, hindi lang actually for education purposes ang Google Forms. And if you want to know more about this topic, about the Google Forms specifically, no, I will, at the end of this, I will give to you naman my YouTube channel wherein you can rewatch or review about it. Okay. Next is another online tool is the Tinyurl. So Tinyurl is a website that makes or shortens your long URLs. Okay, are you familiar with this? So say for example na, sige, mag-open ako ng another tab. So you can go to tiny.cc wherein, say for example, meron kayong long URL kasi meron kayo ibibigay sa students nyo. Perhaps itong link na to, itong sasagutan nyo na quiz natin, or perhaps you're a school admin, this is the link wherein you have to register for enrollment purposes. Masyadong mahaba, it is a pain in the eye, no, na masyadong mahaba ang link ng URL natin. So we can shorten them. Say for example, ito meron akong nilagay dito, no. So and you can customize the link. So say for example, gusto nyo gawin na ICT, or it's up to you kung anong ilalagay nyo na link, para yung customized link na lang ang inyong ibibigay sa inyong students or to anyone who must have access on it. So another good thing about it is pwedeng nagbibigay din ng QR code, no? Kasi parang parang ang ganda ngayon na may mga QR code, very techy. So Tiny also provides QR codes. It generates QR codes. So although Tiny is not only the it is not only the shortening websites that we have. We also have Bitly or bit.ly. Pwede din yun. But ako personally, I like this Tiny, but there are also others. Okay? Para hindi na kayo magbibigay ng long URLs na nakakalito kasi it's a series of alphanumeric characters. So para customize nyo na lang, para parang keyword na ang URL nyo, like tiny.cc/quiz for assignment number 1. Mga ganun. So it comes handy for you as a teacher. Okay? Next is Canva. Ayan. Para sa mga teachers natin na they want to we want some appealing or aesthetic na mga materials like for our PowerPoint presentations, for our layouts natin, mga posters natin, then you can make use of canva.com. If you are not really that good in Photoshop or CorelDRAW, then we have a drag and drop method na web platform we call as canva.com. Iba tong canva.com dun sa canvas natin kanina, which is an LMS. So drag and drop lang to. Basically, it's free. By default, it's free. But if you will make use of some icons and some materials na they are copyrighted or they are for sale, then you have to pay for it. But there are still icons na libre naman, so you can make use of Canva. And actually, do you know that the owner of Canva is part Filipina, Australian Filipina, and she is now the third richest Australian woman in her country right now. And she pioneered Canva. So ayan. So video presentations, PowerPoint presentations, and everything else, business cards, layouts, logos, pwede yan sa Canva. And we actually have also sa department namin or sa cluster namin, DICT VC2, meron kami a series of Canva webinars. So pwede nyo balikan sa videos namin sa page namin. And if you want to rewatch, so madami na yung mga rounds ng Canva kasi meron Canva for layouts, tapos meron ding webinar for video animations. So, dun na lang. Okay? Next, another tool that you can make use of is Mentimeter. And I think there is no better way of explaining Mentimeter to you with by using Mentimeter. No? There is no better way of explaining it than making use of it. So, I want you to go to menti.com. Sige na, please open your tab. And it will ask for a code. Please answer 254594. So please key in 254594 and it will ask you a question, where do you live? So please answer it. Sige po. So that we can, we can know of what Mentimeter is. Yan. So, ayan po. If you can see, lumalabas po ang mga answers natin in real time. So, ayan, may nag-answer real time na ayan, Parañaque, Iba Zambales, Rizal, Mandawi City, Cagayan de Oro City. So, that is how I explain Mentimeter. So a teacher or an administrator gives a link and a code for your Mentimeter, and there is another code for other users, for end users to key in, and there are questions that you have to answer, and in real time you can display what are those answers. So yan po, another creative methodology. The code is 254594. Ayan. So ayan na. So this is the cloud or text cloud na feature ng Mentimeter. So if you have a class and you have some questions, you ask for their opinions or what are their answers, and they can answer anonymously. Ayan po. Sige. Yan na, your answers are keep on coming. Okay, let's do another round. So another feature of Mentimeter, no? That is actually the text cloud. And let's do another question. Ayan. Yeah, please again go. Please refresh your menti.com and key in the code. So what social media app do you use the most? Ayan, so I have provided options and there is a bar graph being displayed right now. Ayan po, pumapasok po ang mga answers nyo. May 94% of you answered Facebook. Mayroon nag-answer na 4% ng Instagram. There is 2% na Twitter. So real time po yan. That is very much live. Live po yan ngayon. Okay? And wala na nag-answer ng Friendster kasi wala nang Friendster ngayon. But during our days, ayan, may nag-answer ng Friendster. May Friendster pa ba ngayon? I think more on gaming na ang Friendster. But the good thing about this is that this is anonymous or you answer anonymously. I do not see your names. So, ayan. Then there is a feature na nagge-generate ng percentage. How many of you have answered this and that? So, ayan po. So, that's menti.com. It has an online polling for you to use in your classes. Sige po. Ayan na-excite na ating mga teachers. Gagamitin ko tong Mentimeter sa classes namin. Sige, sure, why not? But the thing, sa Mentimeter, I think there are only two slides that you can use as free. But if you want to have more slides, then you have to purchase more. Okay? So thank you for participating sa Mentimeter natin. So next is Kahoot. Ayan. Who has used of Kahoot already? So itong Kahoot is parang games to wherein a teacher or an admin gives a question and parang ganun din. Parang ang sense niya is parang ganun din sa Mentimeter natin. Wherein but sa Kahoot, users have to key in their usernames and like there are quizzes and questions and pwede paunahan ng sagot. Pwede yun. This is very interactive. Okay? Next is Kotobi. Sino nakarinig na ng Kotobi? Okay, so ang Kotobi is ayan, yun ang another clear challenge sa Google Meet. Yan. So ang Kotobi is actually this is an ebook creator, simply put, ang Kotobi, and there will be you can create actually ebooks and PDFs na interactive, like merong quizzes. And ang student nyo who has access to such PDF, they can answer this interactive PDFs and they will register in your end. So ganun ang sense ng Kotobi. So unlike the usual PDFs, no, na puro text and image lang, no, but sa Kotobi interactive siya. Pwedeng mayroong set of questions. Para siyang Google form din na nagkatawang Kotobi. Galing nun. Google form na nagkatawang ebook. Ganun. So, ganun ang sense ng Kotobi. Okay? And I think this is the last one. This is the Speech Central wherein, di ba, we know of speech to text applications, no, wherein we speak and our machine or our device translates it into text. So itong Speech Central naman is the other way around, wherein if we have some text, we have some websites na mayroong mga text, it translates into a speech or parang binabasa niya, it reads it aloud. So actually that feature is actually available sa PDF reader, but of course PDF Acrobats are designed for PDFs alone, but sa Speech Central they can read aloud PDFs, websites, presentations, and everything else na may text. So yun ang Speech Central. Okay, and that ends my presentation. I hope you have learned a lot, and I am inviting you to subscribe and watch videos in my YouTube channel. That's Tech Talks with Pambansang IT Guy. I already have a lot of webinars that I uploaded there. Meron akong Google specific Google Forms lang na specific Google Forms na topic, and meron din akong Google Drive na topic. Ano pa ba yun? HTML, basic HTML coding using just Notepad, wherein makakagawa kayo ng website just using Notepad. Meron ako doon, and also creating or making use or maximizing the potentials of Gmail, because there are actually other features of Gmail nandoon din. So actually there is a lot na naka-upload doon, and if you could show some support, and if you want to rewatch those topics, kasi we could not encapsulate everything, no? Yung mga platforms na na-discuss ko, we could not encapsulate them in this 2-hour sitting alone or 1-hour sitting alone sa Dinaminon. So there must actually be specific webinars, and I think the next run of this Hiraya PH na webinar, because this is the first webinar, I think their next webinar is about Google Classroom, I think, because the speaker there is also one of our external speakers for our training in DICT's Digital Jobs PH online freelancing program. I think that will be the topic next. I'm not sure, but I think Hiraya PH can explain that later. So I think that's it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you really learned a lot this afternoon. I'll give the floor back to our Hiraya PH people. Thank you for inviting me. Hiraya PH, this is my first webinar outside of the ICT.
Thank you so much po, Sir Joshua, for a very informative and meaningful presentation. And we really commend all your efforts for today's webinar. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan, for inviting me.
Thank you po. And with this, I would like to officially open the question and answer session. So participants, both po sa FB Live natin at sa Google Meet, you may now ask questions about the presentation of Sir Joshua.
Sige po, I will answer in as much as I could.
Opo. Actually po, may nakita po kami isang question dito, sir. Kung possible daw po ba na magkaroon sila ng copy ng presentation?
Sure, sige. I will send it to sino ba? Sa inyo na lang, Miss Kat? Sino ba? Sige, I will give it after then. Kayo lang siguro mag-send sa kanila, ano?
Sige po, kami na lang po ang magpo-provide ng, or kami na lang po magpo-forward sa kanila ng copy. Thank you po. And there's one more question po from Mark Richard Javier. Tinatanong po niya, Sir, how about big blue button?
So I think this is big blue button is I think big blue is I'm not sure if it supports the Windows operating system, but I think it is I actually have not delved into using it, but as far as I know, it uses Linux servers, and it might not be compatible for some other operating systems. But I think pwede na siya sa Windows, no? But what does si Mark yun, no? Si Mark yung nagtanong, what do you want to know about? About the pricing siguro, perhaps, or the functionality. So far, Big Blue is not that much used compared to other conferencing platforms. But yeah, they can make use of it. I think the hosting for it is around, I think, $80 monthly.
So medyo costly po kung
Medyo,
sa Pilipinas.
oo. Actually, no. I think we should not think of it as an expense, but rather as an investment. Because if you
Yes.
want to deliver quality, then we have to actually spend for it. Pero of course, we as Filipinos, we know that the best things in life are free. Even I myself like that. So, yun lang. Doon lang nagkakatalo na sa pricing and everything else.
Speaking of free po, sir, may nagtanong dito from Joan Cortez. Sabi po niya, among those applications po, ano po yung free? Free subscriptions daw po ng LMS platforms.
Free.
Yes po.
Google Classroom is free. Google Classroom is free, except that there are some other features na you have to pay premium, like video and security, encryption. Merong bayad na, but by default, Google Classroom is free. Moodle is the most used LMS platform, but it is not free. The administrator has to pay for it, but the customer, or ako, I myself, like we use Moodle sa UPOU. I don't pay for it bluntly, like I have to key in my card to pay for it, but rather parang embedded na siya sa miscellaneous fees namin sa UPOU. So technically, it is still being paid. You still have to pay for it. And yeah, I think among those that I have mentioned, Google Classroom is the most clear na free siya, except that you have to pay for some other features. But all others, actually, yung iba dun sa platforms na yun, they have free trial, like certain week or certain month or 14-day free trial, and after which comes the payment na. So yun.
So, sir, we really have to invest talaga. No? There's no such thing as free na sa panahon ngayon.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you po, sir. And there's one more question po from Kent Joseph Ortula. How many participants could Google Meet accommodate? Is there a time limit for video conferences on a certain number of people?
Kami ngayon sa kami, since ang domain namin is DICT, no, and we have a special privilege, we can accept as much as 250 participants for Google Meet, and we have an unlimited plan. Like kahit itong Google Meet na link na to, this has been available since the time I activated this room natin ngayon. This was, I think I had this last weekend, and from weekend up to now, open siya. Pwede siyang ma-access. And but by default, I think for a regular user, no, of a Google account, you only have 60 minutes of call, or 1 hour lang, and there is a limit of 100 participants lang. But if you are naman in a classroom, no, like you are the teacher and you have less than 50 students, Google Meet is a good option. Actually, kasi easy lang ang paggamit niya. And yun lang. May limit siya in the number of minutes or in the number of hours. Just like Zoom. If you use Zoom, by default, it's free. No, you have 40 minutes of call. But if umabot na ng 40 minutes, mapuputol siya, makakat. So parang gano'n na din.
So may limit po
lang.
talaga.
Yes, meron.
Thank you, sir. And there's one more question po from Annabelle Quino. Are you familiar with Brightspace as another LMS platform?
Yes, I have how do you call this? I actually was about to include this ang Brightspace na platform, but I opted not to include it na lang kasi I only selected the 10 of the used or the 10 best known platforms. But yeah, Brightspace, I have come across with it. Although I have not used it talaga, like I haven't hovered it, unlike those that I have mentioned. But I have read some reviews na it is also a good platform, ang Brightspace.
Mhm. Alright, thank you so much po, sir. And last question po, sir, from Constantino C. Ricardo Jr. Hi, sir. How can we assure the safety of the learners, especially in their privacy in the online remote teaching?
Ayan, safety or security in terms of ano ba?
Ano daw
Can you
po?
repeat?
How can we assure the safety of the learners, especially in their privacy in the online remote teaching?
Um, I could not ano ba? I could not actually understand well the question about safety ano ba? Security in terms of
Siguro po,
how they use.
parang tinatanong niyo po siguro yung safety or security ng privacy nila.
Okay, sige, sige. Well, if you want to make sure of the safety and security, there is what we call as encryption, and you have to pay for that actually. Even ang Google Classroom, if you want to ensure na encrypted ang ano nila, ang room, then you have to pay for it as an additional feature. So that's one thing, and I don't know. I think you must really have to be subjective, and you must be careful, 'di ba? Be responsible when you click. Think before you click. So I think we also have, as teachers and as molders and moderators, I think we also have to embed and instill that in our students as well, no? As mentors, we also have to also lead in having or in making sure that there is a safe environment for our learners to learn. So subjective siya. For me, subjective siya. Stan.
Thank you so much po, sir. And I guess nasagot naman po karamihan ng questions ng ating mga participants. And since we don't have enough time po to entertain more questions, so for our viewers and participants sa FB Live po and sa Google Meet, we can answer more of your questions. You may send it to our FB page message box, or you may email us at hirayaphilippines@gmail.com. And thank you so much, sir, for very informative and meaningful presentation. And I hope hindi po ito yung last na makaka-work kami with you, and I hope there will be more chances pa po.
Yes, yes. I am glad that I've been partnering with you, and I
Opportunity.
wish you all good luck. Hiraya PH. This is a good initiative, no? And this is actually what one thing that we want from the ICT, no? Na these kinds of opportunities not only come from us being the department for the ICT landscape, but we also want you guys to help us out in this our advocacy and mandates that we have.
Thank you so much, sir. And opo, we would like to take this opportunity as well to formally commend the Department of Information and Communications Technology, Visayas Cluster 2, for being part of this webinar. Thank you so much po. And to reward the efforts of our speaker, it is my honor to present this certificate of recognition to Mr. Joshua Eleazar P. Domin for sharing his expertise as the resource speaker in the webinar under Project Dalino, Teaching and Learning Innovations and Opportunities, with the title Utilizing Offline and Online Tools for the New Normal, conducted on August 5, 2020, 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, signed by Hiraya Philippines. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much to everyone, and until next time.
Thank you so much po. Next time po ulit.
Sige po. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
And at this point, we would like
Thank you po, sir.
And at this point, we would like to invite you to our second webinar with the title Maximizing Educational Tools for the New Normal with our guest speaker, Ms. Charlene T. Fortunado, FAPSCO Manager. And this will be held on August 7, 1 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So again po, this will not be the last time that we're going to have this kind of webinar. So we still have another webinar and that will be on August 7 from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So makita-kita po ulit tayo. And you may register for our second webinar. You may register using the QR code or the link tinyurl.com/hiraya-webinar2. We will give you time to screenshot or save the link. So register now. The link as well is flash on our Google Meet and FB Live. And this is very important that you have to make sure that you're going to your personal Gmail accounts as the other domains such as deped.gov.ph, Outlook, Hotmail, yahoomail.com, and others bounce back and fail to receive when we send the confirmation for the first webinar. So again po, if you're going to register, please make it sure that you're going to provide your personal Gmail account. So Gmail accounts lang po kasi nagba-bounce back po if you're going to use other domains. And by the way po, have another important announcement. Starting today, we will not be sending you emails of confirmation when you registered on our future events. However, announcements will be made and posted on our Facebook page. So don't forget to like and follow us on our Facebook page, and that is Hiraya Philippines. And for those viewers po namin or participants sa FB Live, you can get your e-certificate. However, in order for you to get your e-certificates, please secure a screenshot of the session or the webinar, or secure po a photo while you are watching our webinar. And then we will post an announcement through our Facebook page kung saan nyo po pwedeng isend yung pictures or yung screenshot. And you may also join our Hiraya Philippines community, which is a private group at tinyurl.com/Hiraya Philippines community. We also have pending events on August 15 and 22, 2020, and dates may be subjected to change. And we would like also to recognize the organization Online SDG Youth Action Forum as part of our growing community. And again po, to get your e-certificates, please don't forget to answer the evaluation, and it is already flashed on your screen. You may scan the QR code, or you can also copy the link that is pinned in the comment box of the FB Live. Make sure to input your correct information as we are using a system for generating your certificates. Again, there is a section in the link wherein you need to input your Gmail account. So again po, please use only Gmail accounts because other domains nagba-bounce back po. So again, use your Gmail accounts to avoid problems when we are delivering your certificates. However, the link will close tomorrow at 10 a.m. So make it sure that you are done with the evaluation before po mag 10 a.m. tomorrow. Also, your certificate has a QR code, which when scanned, will redirect you to the list of the official participants of today's webinar. Only those who are on the list have valid certificates. And please give us at least a week to process your e-certificates. And again po, if you still have questions, just message us on our Facebook page, and you can send us message through our email address, and that is at hirayaphilippines@gmail.com. And that concludes our webinar today. Once again, thank you to our guest speaker, Mr. Joshua, and also to all Hirayanos and Hirayanas. See you again on August 7 for our next webinar. This is Ms. Zarina Tan signing off. Thank you po, God bless, and keep safe. Bye!
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Thanks po.
Bye.
See you again on August 7.
Thank
Okay
you.
po. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Salamat po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you
Thank
po.
you, Miss. Thank you, Jaya.
Hello, ma'am. Saan po yung link ng certificate?
Words? Bakit sa mentira man gibutang? Ano galibog naman po amin. Ito, nani ma'am.